And thanks for joining Nurse Practitioner Television. This is attorney and nurse practitioner Joe Flores. A little bit about me. I became a lawyer because I started my own legal nurse consulting business. I'm not quote unquote certified by many of these entities, but I have a deep respect for those who are. I learned by the School of Hard Knocks, by some of the best trial lawyers in the nation, and it wasn't easy. I wasn't perfect when I first did it, but that's what led me to become a nurse practitioner and a lawyer. It funneled money into putting me through school. So what I wanted to talk about is right now the job outlook is a little bit bleak in the year 2020, and nurse practitioners are taking a lot less. And I came out on MP Hub the other day being interviewed on this very topic, and now I'm bringing it out on your television station, Nurse Practitioner TV. So let's talk about contracts. You know, the ABCs, airway, breathing, and circulation. Well, we have ABCs of contract law, and we look at that in the legal field. And so you have acceptance, bargaining, and consideration. But you flip those around. So let's put that in a model. Somebody comes in and says, I need a nurse practitioner job. And the guy says, well, you have zero experience. You just got a nurse practitioner school, so I'm going to pay you $85,000 a year. Not an impossible scenario. It's happening everywhere in America. And you say, wow, that's what I was making in ICU as a nurse. Why did I go 3 years and kill myself for a nurse practitioner school, and I've got this load of student debt? Well, first of all, from the employer standpoint, they're going to have to really invest in you, train you, and supervise you, and take away probably somebody else to also train you and give you input. And a lot of the time, let's be honest, the transition from RN to nurse practitioner can be difficult. They didn't teach us to diagnose, treat, and prescribe when we were RNs. Now we're taking on a different role. And tough love. What I say is that first year out, you got to pretty much take the job that they give you a lot of the time if it's safe and you have a nurturing boss and preceptor. And so they might pay you less, but let's look at it this way. Medical students go to medical school, they get out, they probably do about 10,000 hours by all is said and done, including their residency. And their residency, many of them make less than $35 an hour for years, and their student debt sometimes is much more extensive than ours. I'm not defending doctors that are physicians, but I'm saying that's the way it is, and I defend them too on many things. And so you're looking at your first year as a residency. So going back, and if you look at it that way and you say, I have to justify my position as an MP and make money for the clinic I'm at, justify because I'm there and getting a salary that I'm generating revenue. It's a business as well as an art, and we have to remember that. So going back to our model, I will give you $85,000 if you work for me, nurse practitioner, just out of school, don't know much, but I'm going to teach you. And you may say, well, that's an offer. And then you have the bargaining, acceptance, and consideration. We start bargaining. Well, can you pay me $100 and throw in CMEs? And also, I don't like that non-competition geographical restriction that much. Can you half that and the time? Then in case we don't work out, what about a 90-day probationary period? Pay me what I want. And if it doesn't work out, I'll agree that you can lower my salary a bit or you can cut my hours. You know, I want to justify myself to you. What have you done there? You've conceded some things, but not given away the farm. And that's what negotiation is about. The consideration in the law is what they're going to offer and pay you. The consideration that they're giving you for bargaining can be not only your salary, but also the continuing medical education units that we all need. And those are very important. They're going to pay you $2,500, $3,500 for reimbursement. That's important. Mileage if you do house calls. Overtime. You have to find out, am I going to be a 1099 contract employee? And there's strict rules from the IRS in doing that. I'm not an accountant, but I know people who are in the medical field and can put you in touch with lawyers in your state, accountants that are health law friendly and nurse practitioner friendly. And finally, when you're bargaining, there might be an acceptance, but with conditions. So they say, well, we'll go ahead and pay you a little bit more, but not what you wanted, but we'll meet you in the middle. and we'll give you continuing medical education. We'll pay for your malpractice insurance. We'll lower that competition or non-competition clause and geographical restriction. You can't practice in a certain area after you leave me for 2 years. That's draconian. So that's the basics of contracts. You accept it, and you can always renegotiate after 90 days. Sometimes that technique works very well. I review a lot of contracts in collaboration as an MP consultant with lawyers throughout the nation. If you have questions, give me a call. I'll put you in touch with somebody. If I can't help you, we've got a referral program for lawyers, and people say, well, why do I want to pay $100 a year for unlimited referrals to a lawyer? It's worth it, because Google will not say, oh, nurse practitioner friendly lawyers that are going to return your call the same day and that have heard of Joe and that appreciate the referrals and don't want to let Joe down, so they're going to do a good job for the nurse practitioner if Joe refers me over to somebody. And that's why it's worth it. On top of that, we also can take the time to return your call and put a face to a name and let you all know that you are worth it. And that's why we want to educate you on contract law and negotiation. And this is just scratching the surface. There's much more, but we want to do these vignettes for Nurse Practitioner Television to get you guys moving in the right direction. Learn about the law, carry your malpractice insurance, know your rights, because for years, the big healthcare industry, even though the biggest workforce in the world is nursing and the most respected, we're not taken seriously often, and they think we don't know business, negotiation, or our rights. And with Nurse Practitioner Television, yes, you do. So my contact information is at the bottom of the screen, joe@flotuslawfirm.com. You can visit our website, flotuslawfirm.com. Follow us, like us, watch us on Twitter, and retweet us. And we appreciate you. And it's 361-887-8670, 24/7. And thank you all for watching Nurse Practitioner Television and this segment. God bless.